The night I called Emily, I didn't expect anything out of the ordinary. I just missed hearing her voice. But when she answered, something in me went still. It wasn't anger. It wasn't heartbreak. It was heavier. An eerie calm that only comes when your heart already knows the truth your mind has been trying not to see. We've been married 5 years, long enough to build routines, short enough to still fake that everything was fine. Lately, though, she'd been elsewhere. Late nights at the office. Her phone always face down. Laughter that never reached her eyes. I told myself it was just stress. Maybe she was tired. Maybe it was nothing. But that night, the truth spoke before she did. It was a Friday. I'd stayed late at the shop to sort out a shipping problem, and on a whim, I decided to call her. Her tone was soft but distracted. "Hey," she said, "I'm just out with friends. Can I call you later?" Then, through the background noise, I heard it, a man's laugh. Deep, confident, too familiar. "Who's that?" I asked quietly. A pause, then the sharp sound of her breath. "Just someone from work," she said too quickly. "Don't start, Jake." "I didn't," I replied. "I just asked." The silence that followed was louder than any argument we'd ever had. Then the line went dead. She said she'd call back. She never did. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, phone still in my hand, listening to the clock echo through the empty house. I replayed all the tiny things I'd ignored. The way she smiled at her phone, the way she pulled back when I reached for her. Love doesn't vanish in a single night. It fades slowly, like daylight slipping into dusk. I just hadn't noticed how dark it had gotten. When she finally came home, she acted as if nothing had happened, kissed my cheek, smelled faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. Then she disappeared into the shower. I said nothing, just watched, wondering how long she'd been living 2 lives while I still held on to one. The next morning, she moved through the house humming, scrolling through her phone, smiling at something she clearly didn't want me to see. And that's when it clicked. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't guilty. She was comfortable, too comfortable. That evening, leaning against the counter, I said quietly, "Emily, we should talk." She looked up, startled, then shrugged lightly. "Just drinks after work. You know how it is." I didn't respond, only watched her. Her hand stilled halfway to lifting her mug. For a heartbeat, her confidence cracked. Then she gave a forced laugh. "He's just a friend, Jake. You're overthinking again." Overthinking. Every liar's favorite defense. I didn't argue. I just nodded, kissed her forehead, and walked out the door. But instead of going to the shop, I drove to her office, parked across the street, and waited. Hours crawled by. Around lunch, she appeared, not alone. The same man from her social media photos, the coworker she always mentioned. They laughed, touched hands, leaned close. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles ached, staring at the woman I thought I knew. By that evening, I'd made my decision. No confrontation, no shouting, just truth. Truth doesn't need to be loud. It only has to stand there long enough to be seen. When I got home, she was already there, hair damp, wearing one of my shirts like everything was normal. "Hey," she said with a smile. "You're home early." "Yeah," I answered evenly. "Thought we should talk." Her smile faltered. "About what?" "About laughing with another man while your husband's still on the phone." The color drained from her face. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. For the first time in months, the silence belonged to me. "I called last night," I said. "He sounded happy. You did too." Her eyes filled with tears, but I'd stopped believing in them. I could tell the difference now between guilt and getting caught. "It's not what you think," she whispered. I almost laughed. "Emily, it's exactly what I think." That night, she lay on the far edge of the bed, restless. I stared at the ceiling, feeling the space between us stretch wider than the mattress itself. There was nothing left to fight over, only the truth waiting to be accepted. At sunrise, I packed a small bag and left. No note, no message, just the road. My hands steady, my chest hollow. A numbness that comes after pain has burned itself out. By noon, I found myself parked outside the same restaurant she'd gone to the day before. I waited, right on schedule. She arrived. Same dress, same perfume, the same smile that used to be mine. The man met her at the door, whispered something that made her laugh. The laugh that had broken everything. She didn't see me until I stepped out of the car. The sound of my shoes on the pavement made her turn. "Jake," she breathed, "what are you doing here?" "Just watching," I said quietly. "You always said I overthink. I figured I'd see for myself." The man mumbled something and stepped back. Emily's hand shook. "It's not what it looks like," she stammered. "It's exactly what it looks like," I replied. "Only this time you don't get to lie." I handed her the house keys. "You can stay with him now." Then I turned and walked away. The next day, she came to the shop, eyes red, makeup streaked, no laughter left. "Jake, please," she said, voice trembling. It was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I looked at her and felt no fury, just relief. The kind that comes when you finally release someone who let go long before you did. "You should have thought of that yesterday," I said softly, "when you laughed." She broke down, sobbing. But I didn't stop. I walked away. Because sometimes the harshest revenge isn't anger or chaos. It's silence. And that day, no one was laughing.